Although there were a lot of, okay, blah, blah. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is just a sit-down talking video, kind of going off of another one I recently posted. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and get started. What I'm talking about today is comfort eating and bored eating, which after I posted my video talking about overcoming binge eating disorder, I got a lot of DMs asking how I stopped comfort eating or just eating out of boredom, and I figured I would just make a list of tips that have really helped me and make a video about it. So I'm just gonna be going through a list of tips. I have them in my notes of just different things that have personally helped me on my journey. And I just wanna say I'm not a doctor. This is just what I have found works best with my lifestyle and with my habits, how things work for me. So I'm giving my advice based on my experience, but something else might work differently for you, or one of these might not work for you, but I just wanna give some of the tips that have helped me. So I will link the video that I talked about binge eating disorder, and I'm not gonna really go into that today because I do kind of see them as two different things. Although there are a lot of similarities between like a binge eating episode and when I bored eat or just eat for comfort, they are really similar, but at the same time, I think that binge eating was much more me dealing with things that were really stressing me out or bringing me down, and I really needed to focus on those to deal with binge eating disorder and acknowledging everything that comes along with that. But for comfort eating and bored eating, that's another thing that I've just dealt with my entire life. I love food, and especially more so living on my own or like having our own house now, it's a lot easier to just go and grab food. Like when I was younger, you had to ask to eat food or something. Like it wasn't always just readily available for me, and now it is. And so because of that, I've dealt with a lot of bored eating and comfort eating. So when I started my weight loss journey, I knew I was gonna have to deal with this because it was something that I always struggled with in the past, and I knew that that's where a lot of my calories for the day came in, just mindless eating or just snacking throughout the day. So one of the most important things that I started out my journey with, I started on WW from day one, tracking my food, because I really wanted to see portion sizes and just honestly keep track of what I was eating. I didn't realize how much I was actually consuming in a day. I always like underestimated it to myself, and then when I saw it in front of me tracked, it really was eye-opening and it really did help me out. So what I started doing is anytime I would snack when I was bored or anything like that, I would track it no matter what. And even if I had like 2 or 3 servings and it was like a bigger serving, I would still track it in the beginning of my journey because I really wanted to take WW seriously, and I wanted to see if it would work if I was honest with myself and the program. Doing that from the beginning actually really did help me. It wasn't easy at times. There were times where I would get honestly frustrated because I just didn't want to do it, and I was like disappointed in myself that I used so many points for a snack or something. But again, it really did open my eyes to how much I was eating and the points. Like sometimes I wasn't having the healthiest snacks and I was having, like I said, 2 to 3 servings of them. So it was really eye-opening to me to start tracking my food, including those snacking periods. Another thing that's really helped me when it comes to bored eating or snacking is finding something to do instead. And that sounds like easier said than done, I feel like, but a lot of times I really do have to physically get myself away from the kitchen, or I will be tempted by the snacks that are in there. Even if I'm not hungry, even if I just want to eat out of boredom, it is so tempting to me. And so sometimes it takes going upstairs and laying on the bed, going outside and playing with the dogs, going on a walk, going for a skate, depending on the time of day it is. Usually I struggle the most at night with my like snacky eating. For me, it's more important to have activities at night kind of lined up so that I'm not tempted to go have some snacks. So watching a show, reading a book, just different things like that. Even sometimes taking a bath is so like satisfying to me instead of eating. And I always feel so much better after I get out of the bath and then I'm not hungry. I wasn't hungry to begin with. I just wanted to eat, but I just feel better that way. So a lot of times I'll go take a bath and that really helps me. And then honestly, there are a lot of nights when I just go to bed. I really try to get 8 hours of sleep a night, and I don't always. So a lot of times it'll just be easier for me to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier, and then I feel better and I realize like I was just gonna eat out of boredom, I wasn't hungry. Sometimes I'll just go upstairs and go to bed. And along with that, getting enough sleep on my journey has been huge to like help my snacking, because the days that I get the least amount of sleep are the days that I want to snack all day. I can never satisfy my cravings. I just want to keep eating. So when I get enough sleep every night, it really does help me have a more balanced day and not be so snacky. I still am snacky, but just not as much. It does make a little difference getting enough sleep every night. So sometimes I'll just do that. I'll just go to bed, and that really does help me. It a lot of times I'm tired enough I could just fall asleep and I don't worry about going and eating a bunch of food, because sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in the kitchen, eat a bunch of food, and then just go to bed right after, and I feel so much worse that way. So if I know I'm gonna be going to bed soon, I really try not to go have a snack. And I don't have like a set time that I stop eating before bed. There are times where I'll have a snack right before I lay down. I just usually don't feel the best when I do that, so I try not to. Usually I try to have at least an hour between eating my last whatever I have and then going to sleep, but I do try to have it a little longer. But yeah, it's just what works best for you though. If you like to snack before bed and it helps you sleep better, you can do that. I just personally feel better when I've digested a little bit more before I lay down for bed. Sometimes what I'll do is, along the lines of like going to bed, is I'll just go upstairs and brush my teeth. And then after I brush my teeth, I don't want to eat. And again, I wasn't hungry, so there was no point in me going and snacking. So brushing my teeth is just another way that like keeps me from going and pointless snacking. Now, I don't do this when I'm hungry. I don't like try to force myself to not eat. If I'm hungry, I eat food. And usually I'll just start with something small or something more filling. So what I'll do is, a lot of times I'll have a banana. I've actually been using bananas a lot more because it's really helped to kind of fend off the cravings. During the day, if I feel like I just want to like go eat a bunch of salty snacks or something, I'll eat a banana first and wait like 5 minutes, and then I still go and have a salty snack. I'll pick some things out or whatever, but it definitely has helped me to have a smaller portion of the snack because the banana is satisfying and filling for me. I also do the same thing at night. After I finish my dinner, I always eat a Honeycrisp apple. I just like to have my apple every single day and it makes me feel better. So that is when I choose to have it, because the second I finish eating dinner, I always want to eat something sweet, and the apple kind of acts as that. A lot of times I'll still have something sweet after. I'll have like a cookie or different desserts that I have lined up for me. But a lot of times the apple really does help to fill me up a little bit more and satisfy my sweet tooth. And that's exactly what the banana does during the day. So sometimes I just want to eat, and that will help me first to fill up a little bit more, but then I still allow myself to eat a little bit after. But again, I track everything usually. The banana and apple are both 0 points though, so that's always good. And a lot of times I try to fill up on 0 point foods, or like if I'm gonna have a dip, I'll have cucumbers with it because that's 0 points. I can gain some points back and it fills me up more. Same with even just like hard-boiled eggs. I haven't made them in a while, but I used to snack on hard-boiled eggs all the time because they were really satisfying. I'd even just mash them up in a cup with some mustard, salt, and pepper, and it was really good. Another thing that has helped me when I want to go eat out of boredom is to do one task before I get that snack. So it's not like I'm like earning the snack, but in a way, I just set up that I have to do something productive before I go have the snack that I wanna have. And a lot of times I'll start like cleaning or something, and then I get sucked into that and again, realize I wasn't hungry and I just wanted to go eat something for fun, which I know it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but to me it really does, and I do that all the time. I like to just eat. It gives me comfort. So instead of going straight to the kitchen and having a snack, I find something for me to do, or maybe I'll like reply to some DMs or do something like that that I think is productive, and then usually I forget about the fact that I was gonna go eat in the kitchen. Another thing that I've been replying to a lot of people who have asked me after my last video, just what I do when I want to comfort eat, is finding snacks that are really filling and satisfying, because then when I do want to go snack, I have less of that snack. I have like the proper portion and it's actually satisfying enough for me. And when I want something sweet, for example, I'll have a yogurt, but I like to add blueberries, some Kashi peanut butter crunch cereal, and then some nuts and more. So that adds a lot of protein to it. It's a really filling dessert. It's sweet, it's satisfying, it is so good. It is one of my favorite things, really. I mix it up really well and it's just so good together. So that's something that I'll do. Or sometimes I'll have a snack mix. If I want something salty, I'll just do small portions of a bunch of different snacks that we have. So I'll do like a 2-point portion of Skinny Pop, and then 2 points of Kodiak Bear Bites, and 2 points of Sun Chips. Like I'll just pick a bunch of things and I'll just throw it and make a little snack mix together. And then it'll be like a 6-point snack or something, but it's satisfying. It satisfies my sweet tooth. I feel like I'm getting a good snack in, and it's a lower point option, but it's satisfying. So having satisfying options and filling options really does help when it comes to snacking, instead of just having one bag of chips that really never fills me up and I could just keep eating, or even just like a chocolate bar or candy. There are times when I even want like gummy candy or something, and now I have different options that are like fruit leather and stuff like that, that I could have like 3 packs of these. Actually, convenient that these were up here, but I could have like 3 packs of these Soli gummies instead of having like one Laffy Taffy, and it's so much better for me. It's real fruit and it's more satisfying. So I'd rather have that than the higher point option that's full of sugar, if that makes sense. Okay, and then one last thing I want to mention, I say this all the time, but really spacing out your points throughout the day, making sure you're having filling, satisfying meals that are packed with 0-point foods it helps me so much to not want to snack as much at night, because the days that I push off eating, or that I just have a protein bar for breakfast and then like something small and quick for lunch, I just want to snack all night because I feel like I haven't eaten my calories and points, and it just makes it so much easier for me to overeat when I don't eat all day. When I really space out my meals and make them as filling as possible, I am satisfied for hours at a time. So once I finish dinner, which you guys see our portions, we do eat really big portions, but I try to keep them very low point. And like I said, a lot of 0 point foods. But when I finish my dinner, a lot of times I am very, very full. And by the time I digest it, I'm pretty much going to bed. So that really helps me to use those points, use those 0 point foods at meals and really fill up on those. And I find myself snacking a lot less, especially just like for comfort and out of boredom. So those are just a few things that have really helped me when it comes to just mindless snacking or just wanting to go in the kitchen and eat everything. Like I said, one of the best things for me to do is kind of just get away from the kitchen at the time, but sometimes that can still be really frustrating. I get really irritated when I want to eat, even if I'm not hungry. If I'm in the mood to eat and I'm like stopping myself from doing it, I get pretty irritated and frustrated. A lot of times I like to put music in and, like I said, get away from the kitchen and just find ways to get my mind off of it, because I know I'm not hungry. I'm probably over my points for the day already, and it's just gonna make me feel worse anyway. I'm not saying it's easy to do that. Like I said, I get very irritated and kind of like irritable when that happens, but it takes some time to work through it and realize like, this isn't really worth it. I don't really want to eat this food. It's not gonna make me feel better. I start to really think about what's worth it or not for me to eat. And I really just try to eat more mindfully. I try to eat slower and just fill up as much as I can throughout the day. So I'm not gonna kind of mindlessly eat at night. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, kind of all over the place, but just some tips that have really helped me on my journey. Like I said, this is still a struggle for me. It's not something that just goes away, and it is sometimes hard on me, and like I said, it gets to me, it kind of irritates me, but it is worth it to work through it and do what's gonna be best for you. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.